Welcome back, dear students. So in today's class we will be learning about mean of discrete frequency distribution. Okay, so in discrete frequency distribution we have got three different methods. Okay, so the first method is called direct method. Next is assumed mean method. Third one is step deviation method. Okay, fine. So in direct method you use the formula, this one, easy formula, where f stands for frequency, okay, and x stands for, all of you know, it's the observation, right? Now in assumed mean, you see this e is there, right? Now what is this e? This e is the assumed mean. Okay, so it's your choice with what mean you want to assume. Okay, so e is the assumed mean, f is, you know, f is the frequency, and what is d? D is nothing but the difference between the observation and assumed mean. Okay, so you need to memorize this particular formula, and how to work with it we will see using the problem only. And in step deviation method we have this particular formula, okay, where a is again your assumed mean only, okay, and what are these I, t, okay, so you will understand this later. Okay, so this I is there, and if I is known you will be able to understand what is t. T is nothing but x minus a whole divided by I. So this is your step deviation method. Okay, so without further delay, let's see the problems. So question number 10, which says, from the given data calculate the mean wage correct to nearest rupee. Okay, so category, there are different categories given here. So wages is represented as x. So in category A, wage, okay, wage per day is rupees 50. In category B, wage per day is rupees 60. In category C it is 70. In D it is 80. In E it is 90. And category F has wages to be 100 per day. And in each category number of workers working are also given. So basically frequency, all of you know that frequency is the repetition of certain observation. Basically here observations are the wages, right? That means there are two people, okay, whose wage is rupees 50. Okay, are you able to understand? That means 50 is repeating two times, right? Because there are two people getting rupees 50. Okay, so that's why a number of workers represent the frequency. Okay, so first what you need to find is, if the number of workers in each category is doubled, what would be the mean? Okay, so this also needs to be found. So first actually we need to find the mean wage. So quickly find the mean wage. Okay, so here they have not mentioned which method should we use, so we'll try to use direct method. And for direct method your formula is this one, isn't it? So what you will do is you will convert this table in this way. Okay, so first is x is given. See, first we'll write x, and after that we'll write f. So x are the wages and f represents the number of workers. Okay, now fx means what? Fx means product of f and x, right? So let's multiply f and x. Okay, so we'll put one more column where I'll write fx. So let's multiply. Fx is 2 into x, 2 into 50, right? So 2 into 50 is 100. 4 into 60 is 240. 8 into 70, 560. 12 into 80, 960. 10 into 90, 900. 6 into 100 is 600. So we found the fx also. Now this summation means total of, all of you know that. So we have to find the total of fx. So we have fx here, right? So we'll find its total, and we have summation of the frequency. Okay, that means we'll find the total of this. So do we need to find the total of this? No, because the formula doesn't contain summation of x, it contains summation of fx. So we'll add all the fx and we'll add all the f. Okay, so when you add, your total becomes, so total of frequency turns out to be 42, and total of fx turns out to be 3360. So let's substitute the value now. So we have total of fx is 3360 and total of f is given to be 42. So do the cancellation, you get the mean to be 80. Okay, now see, remember in earlier class we learned that if the mean is changed, or if each observation is changed by any quantity, let's say a, then the mean will also change by the same amount. But the same thing won't happen in case of discrete frequency distribution. Okay, so here let's observe this particular formula again. Here both numerator and denominator contains f, right? So that means if you make any change in f, there will be no change. Okay, see, try to understand, both numerator and denominator contains f. So if you make any change in f, then there will be no change in the mean. Okay, but if you see, numerator contains x but denominator doesn't contain x, so that's why if you make a change in x, if you make any change in x, then there will be the change in x. And I mean to say, if you make any change in x, then there will be the change in mean, and the mean will also change by the same amount, the amount by which x is changed. Okay, so we have the first sub question, which says if the number of workers is doubled in each category, what would be the new mean? Okay, mean wage. That means you are changing number of workers, means you are changing f. But I told you, if f is changed, there will be no change in the mean, right? So that's why means remains the same if the number of workers in each category is doubled. So that's why your mean, or the new mean wage, will be equals to still 80. Okay, so this is my first answer. There are still two more sub questions. So before that, you may pause the video and note down your solution. Okay, so next is, if the wages per day in each category is increased by 60%, then the new mean wage. Okay, what is the new mean wage? So you know, in this case you are changing wage, that means you are changing x, right? So I told you we have x only in the numerator, so that means by how much ever you are changing the value of x, mean will also get changed by the same thing. So you're increasing you're increasing wages by 60%, that's why your mean will also increase by 60%. So that's why your mean, okay, new mean becomes, see, earlier it was 80, right, into you're increasing, see, in 100% you are increasing 60, right? So it becomes 160 divided by 100 is equals to 128. Okay, so do the cancellation, this turns out to be 128. Now if the number of workers in each category is doubled, okay, is doubled, and the wages per day are reduced to 40%, what would be the new mean wage? Now number of workers doesn't matter, all of you know that, yes, but reduction in wages matters. So if reduction in wages is by 50%, 40%, then mean will also get reduced by 40. So out of 100, if you reduce 40, then you are left with only 60, right? So it will be, earlier it was 80, earlier mean was 80 into, so reduction gives you 60, right? Reduction in 40 gives you 60, so that's why this turns out to be 40. This will be the new mean. Try to understand, there was increase by 60, so that's why total became 160. Now there is a decrease by 40, so that's why if you decrease 40 from 100, you get 60. Do the calculation, you get your answer to be 48. Okay, pause the video and note down your solution. Let's have another question. So next question is question number 11. The content of 100 match boxes were checked to determine the number of matches they contain. Now it is given, a data is given, see, number of matches, okay, and number of boxes. That means 6 match box contains 35 matches, 10 match boxes contain 36, 18 match box contains 37, and similarly it happens. Now you need to calculate to one decimal place the mean on number of match per box. Okay, so basically here this first row represents x and the next row represents your f. Okay, so we have number of number of matches being written as x and number of boxes written as f, and all of you know we have to find fx. So let me directly draw the column and let me write down the total also, like earlier problem. Okay, so we need total for fx and total for f, right? So we got these total. Now your mean is going to be, number one, you need to calculate the mean, right? So when you calculate the mean, it turns out to be summation fx, total of fx is 3813 divided by total of f is 100. So when you find or when you convert this into a decimal, it turns out to be 38.13. So this is my first answer. Next says determine how many extra matches would have to be added to the total contents of the 100 boxes to bring the mean exactly to 39 matches. Okay, that means you want to make now mean to be 39. Here mean is 38, right? So you want to make mean to be 39. So for that you need to add some extra matches to the total content, isn't it? So what am I doing is, see, it is given in the second case, it is given to be new mean is given to be 39. You know that, right? So for that we need to make some addition, isn't it? So total contents will be, see, we have exactly 100, right? So we have exactly total content is how many boxes are there? We have 100 boxes, right? So if the mean number of matches is 39 and total number of boxes is 100, then total content will be how much? See, in one match there are, in one box there are, I'm sorry, yeah, in one box there are 39 matches, but we have got 100 boxes. So that means in 100 boxes, what will be the total content? It will be 39 into 100, which is 3900, isn't it? So total content is this much. Okay, now see, in earlier case, what was the total content? Total content was this much, isn't it? So this gave me the total content. So that's why the extra matches that we need to add is, so from this we'll subtract this. Okay, so you get 87, right? So that means the extra matches that we need to add is how much? 87. Okay, so you may pause the video and note down your solution. Let's have another problem now. Question number 13, which says in the following table summation f is 200. That means total of all these f values is given to be 200 and mean is 73. So find the missing frequencies f1 and f2. Okay, so let's see. The given table can be written in this format, and all of you know, since mean is given, so for that you need fx. So I have written down fx also. So 46 into 0 is 0, f1 into 50 is 50 f1, 100 into f2 is 100 f2, 150 into 25 is this much, 200 into 10 is this much, 250 into 5 is this much. So we got all the values of fx, but just getting the value of fx is not enough, you know that. We'll find the total of this as well. So let's find the total. So if you add all the numbers only, you get 86, and you have f1 and f2, so that's why total turns out to be 86 plus f1 plus f2. And the same happens here as well. If you add only the numbers, you get 7000, and we have 50 f1 and 100 f2 as well. So this will be summation fx, and this much will be your summation f. Okay, so given is summation f is 200, right? But what is, see, given is summation f is 200, but what is summation f? Summation f is this much. So that's why in place of this I'll write 86 plus f1 plus f2, which is 200. Simple. Bring this 86 over there, you get f1 plus f2 will be 114. Let me call this to be equation number 1, right? We have another thing given is mean. So mean is given to be this much, right? Formalize this one, mean for mean, and in place of mean we have 73 because mean is given to be 73. Now what is summation fx? Summation fx is this much, right? So I've written this much, and summation f, all of you know, is 200. So bring this 200 here. So you get this one. So 200 into 73 becomes 14,600, and you have this one in the other side. So bring this 7,000 over there, you get this much. Okay, now if you divide both sides by 50, you get f1 plus, see, when you divide 100 by 50 you get 2, when you divide 7,600 by 50 you get 152, and this becomes my equation number 2. So your job is to solve equation 1 and 2 by yourself, and when you solve 1 and 2 using simultaneous equation method, then you will get the value for f1 and f2. Okay, and that's what the question is asking you to find. So you may pause the video and note down the solution. Okay, so next very important question is, find the arithmetic mean correct to the nearest whole number by using step deviation method. I'm sure you remember what is step deviation method. So in step deviation method, what you need to do is you need to take one assumed mean. You have to take a mean. So mean means the middle, right? So almost mid value. So from here you can take anything to be your, from this, say you are finding mean of the observation, remember. So you will take, I'm taking my mean to be, assumed mean to be 30. If you want to take 25, that's also fine, that's your choice, but let me take the assumed mean a is equals to 30, right? Okay, now using step deviation method, your mean will be this much, right? Now we have got t and I. Okay, so you must know what are these t and I. Okay, so first and foremost, let's understand what is I. So I is the difference between the observations. Okay, so for example, the difference between 10 and 5 is 5. Difference between 10 and 15 is 5. 20 and 15 is also 5. 25 and 20 is also 5. So basically this I will be same, you know, because the difference between the subsequent terms is turning out to be same, which is 5. That means in this case the value of I is 5, right? Okay, so we have these things given to us. Okay, so we need to calculate what is summation f, that is for sure. Okay, we'll calculate that later, but we need ft also, right? But before that, let's find what is our t. Okay, so for t, what we need is, see, you know, t is x minus a by I. Okay, so I'm calculating first x minus a, remember. So x is 5. What is a? A is 30. So 5 minus 30 is minus 25. Be careful, don't look at this for now. So just observe this. So first let's calculate x minus a. So x minus a turns out to be minus 25. X is 10. So 10 minus a is 30. So 10 minus a is, 10 minus 30 is minus 20. 15 minus 30 is minus 15. 20 minus 30 is minus 10. 25 minus a is minus 5. 30 minus 30 becomes 0. 35 minus 30 is 5. 40 minus 30 is 10. Again 45 minus 30 is 15. 50 minus 30 is 20. So this is how we calculate x minus a. Now all of you know the value of I is 5. So it becomes, see here, we divide x minus a by I, that gives you t. Okay, so x minus a is this much. So divide this by I, which is 5. So divide this by 5, you get minus 5, isn't it? 25 and 5 gets cancelled, so you get minus 5. So minus 20 divided by 5, minus 4. Minus 15 divided by 5 is minus 3. Minus 10 divided by 5, minus 2. Minus 5 divided by 5 is minus 1. 0, when you divide 0 by any number, you get 0. 5 divided by 5 is 1, 10 divided by 5 is 2, 15 divided by 5 is 3, 20 divided by 5 is 4. So we got in this way our t also. Now all of you know in the formula we have ft. So quickly calculate what is ft. So ft turns out to be f into t, remember. So f is this much, t is this much. So 20 into minus 5 is minus 100. 43 into minus 4 turns out to be this much. Similarly, we'll calculate all the values of f and t. You get your subsequent values of ft. Now in the formula we have summation ft. That means we need to add all the values of ft and we need to add all the values of f also. So let's add them. So we have summation f is 384 and summation ft is minus 598. You have to add, okay? So just add, you will get definitely get this much. So that's why your mean will be, assumed mean is 30, summation ft is minus 598, summation f is 384, right? And you know I is 5. Now simplify this, okay? So after simplification you'll find that this turns out to be exactly 22.21, okay? And the nearest whole number will be 22, okay? So that will be your answer for this particular question, okay? So there's one more question, I guess. You can have a look at that and try that sum in the very same way, okay? Pause the video and note down the solution. Okay, so we have the last question, and this time we are going to use shortcut method. This is much more easier compared to earlier one. So in this case, your assumed mean you can take to be shortcut method, means this is assumed mean method, okay? Shortcut method, remember. So a is 45, okay? So you know, in assumed mean we make use of this particular formula where d is x minus a, okay? So before that we'll just draw the table again in a vertical manner. So we need first what is x minus a, which gives you d. So d is x minus a, where a is 45, right? So 40 minus 45 minus 5, 41 minus 45 minus 4, 43 minus 45 minus 2. Similarly find all the differences, okay? So this gives you d. Now you need fd, so multiply f and d. 14 into minus 5 minus 70, 28 minus 4 minus 112, 38 minus 2 minus 76, 50 into 0 is 0, 40 into 1 41, 20 into 4 is 40, 10 into 5 is 50. Now you need to add all the values of fd and f. So let's find the total. So its total turns out to be 200 and its total turns out to be minus 88, okay? So put the values down, okay? So summation fd is minus 88, summation f is 200, a is 45. So simplify this. This turns out to be exactly 44.6, okay? So with this we close this particular exercise, the first exercise on measures of central tendency, okay? Thank you very much.